I'm really pleased to introduce to the internationally renowned Death star Morgana Rapechild, who's here with us in the studio today. Thank you so much for coming. How are you doing? Hi.
Good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, now you've just released your album, Green Slime and Small Other Animals Death. And I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit about how the whole process was in the studio and the recent scandal with the band?
Well, it was all real. Everyone was real helpful, you know, because of the fact of my father's death, and it was all, you know, everyone was real helpful, even, you know, through the crisis. Then, you know, it all seemed to fit together. And,
yeah.
Yeah, and everyone was just so awesome. I want to thank everyone for how great an experience it all was.
Well, thank you very much. Well, the tragic loss of your father, did that influence any of the lyrics in your recent album?
Well, you know, especially in the song "Cry for Me," then.
So during the recent tragic death of your father, did any of this? Yeah, death is a humorous subject in your lyrics a lot, and especially the death of your father. You released the great comedy hit "He Died on Me." Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it actually happened like that. That it well, you know, we shouldn't think of it as such a bad thing.
Yeah.
As we are going up to a higher place after we die, and so of course
some people would of course say you're going to a lower place.
Well, see, that the funny thing is that Dante also wrote the Divine Comedy. See, it's funny.
Well, he in Winnie the Pooh, there's a piglet, I think, or the bear himself. He lives in a hole in a pretty dark place. Yeah. Many entertainment commentators have associated you with Lady Gaga in many ways, like during award ceremonies or some of your more extreme performances in like midnight clubs. You've appeared on stage with dead pets on your head.
You see, that's the thing. I look at her as a lot like an idol. She opened.
Now, in one of the songs on your album, you play skulls. How did that come about, and where did you get the skulls?
It was actually really hard finding the skulls, but we kind of got the idea. You know, there was this guy that was using dead bodies as art, and it was so beautiful and so funny as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, you know, that one cracked me up. So we heard that he got the bodies from a Vietnamese prisoners, you know, the ones that had been executed. And so we decided, you know, to check over. They had tons of these skulls. And, you know, it's surprising how many families have, like, skulls from their relatives. And they were happy to donate one for us.
Yeah, I know there's a couple of skulls at my grandparents' house from their parents.
Yeah, it's, you know, weird, you know. You think that it's something you don't notice. It's not like, you know, family pictures or anything. This is something that everyone knows they have but don't still think about. Yeah. So we wanted to draw on that aspect, you know. You get it.
Now, you're being a 15-year-old international goth star. What do your parents think about all this?
Well, my dad, of course, I think he's very proud of me. I can't say much for my mother, as she is a heroin addict, and she spends a lot of the time in the house. She watches TV, so I think she's seen me there. But I don't go home a lot with my friends. So my parents, my dad died before all this, of course.
So when you're touring, like on tour, you're touring up to a year at a time. Does your dead father come along?
It's funny you should mention. Funny you should mention that. You know, because I sometimes feel his presence, and he's like there. You know, when when my older friends are having like these alcoholic parties of theirs, then I feel like he's there too, and telling me not to go there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.